Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today the December 2022 Visa Bulletin is out. So let's look at it. Because the Visa Bulletin came in a little bit late this month, we were expecting that there will be some changes in the EB category, and there are some changes in the EB category. Although the not so good news is EB2 has retrogressed even further, whereas there is some good news for EB3. We'll also look at some of the notifications that they have included below the Visa Bulletin. We'll go through them in detail. So watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration and lifestyle related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. And for your specific immigration needs, before you take any action, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. Now with this retrogression, if you have any questions for me, do contact me on my Patreon site. And just a reminder, there are some affiliate links in the description. You might want to check them out for getting some discount. And while you are down there, if you can hit that like button, that will greatly help the channel. And it will also include you in the giveaway that's going on. Now there is not much change in the Visa Bulletin for the family-based category. I quickly took a glance through it and I did not see any dates change. So we'll still quickly go through them, see what's going on, and then we'll move on to EB category. So as usual, we'll do the side-by-side comparison of the two Visa Bulletins, November Visa Bulletin versus the December Visa Bulletin. Okay, as you can see, the Visa Bulletin for November 2022 is on the left-hand side, and for the December, that is the new one, is on the right hand side. The December Visa Bulletin will take into effect on 1st of December. So you should follow those dates only from 1st of December onwards. But if you see advancement in the dates in this particular Visa Bulletin, you can start collecting your documentation now to be submitted on 1st of December. Now let's first look at the family sponsored preference category. Now quickly go through as a reminder, when we go through the Visa Bulletin, I'll keep talking about F1, F2A, F2B, F3 and F4. And F1 is for unmarried sons and daughters of US citizens. Second preference from F1 is spouses and children or unmarried sons and daughters of permanent residents. F2A is spouses and children of permanent resident. F2B is unmarried sons and daughters 21 years of age or older of permanent residents. F3 is married sons and daughters of US citizens, and F4 are brothers and sisters of adult US citizens. Now let's look at the final action date chart for the family based category first, and absolutely no changes as you can see. For F1, the dates remain same at 1st of December 2014 across the board, whereas for Mexico it is 15th of November 2000, which hasn't changed at all, and for Philippines as well, 1st of March 2012. So dates haven't moved in final action chart at all. F2A category remains current, which is the only category that has seen some good news in the last couple of years. F2B category also remains exactly the same. I don't see any date changes whatsoever for F2B, F3 and F4 categories. So as you can see, all these dates are exactly the same. What does this mean? Is mean that they are still processing the number of applications that they have already received against the number of visas they already have. So they are not able to advance the dates at all. So they first need to get through the backlog even before any dates can move forward. Now a final action date chart is not the chart that family based category uses for submitting their I-485 application. So that chart is actually the filing date chart. So this is the filing date chart for family based category, and as you can see, F1 is still exactly the same, no date change. F2A remains current. F2B exactly the same dates all across the board, no change at all. In the last couple of months we had seen Mexico progressing a little bit, but they have left all the dates as they are, because they don't want any more applications to be submitted by individuals, because they have enough to meet the demand for the available visa numbers. So they are not causing any additional demand by forwarding any dates. F3 and F4 also remain exactly the same, so there are no date changes. So what does this say is the family based category has enough applications already submitted by the individuals that are going to use up all the visa numbers in that particular section. It is also a little bit of a worrisome because now that the COVID is behind us, all those backlog applications, people who were not able to apply for their processing at the consulates, since the consulates are now open, they are now able to apply for those. It's just that these dates have been stuck there for a while. People who should have been able to apply for their 485 were just not able to do so, and now they are all doing so. So even without progressing the dates, they have and they are getting enough visa applications at the consulates. Now remember, FB category processes majority of their applications at the consulates abroad, whereas EB category processes majority of their applications within the United States. So that is kind of a difference. So consulates numbers are gathered by Department of States, whereas the 485 within the United States are mostly given out by USCIS. Every month they have to reconcile those two numbers to get an idea of whether they can progress the dates for any particular category. So hope that makes sense. Now let's turn our attention to EB category. I also saw something fascinating in Boston when I was taking a stroll in downtown Boston in the Cambridge side. I went under the Longfellow Bridge, and there was this amazing scenario where there were a lot of medals and trophies set up for display right under the bridge, and it is at the hand's reach, so anybody can reach and touch it, but they are so safe and nobody bothers to tamper with them, and it is amazing to see so many of those. I looked up on the Google what's it about, and there was an article that describes what happened, the story behind these trophies and these medals under the bridge. So fascinating thing here in Boston. So I just thought it was interesting to share with you audience. Now here is the final action date chart for employment based category. So as usual, EB1 remains current all across, so there is no retrogression or there is no priority date set for EB1 across the board. There is a note for EB1 and we'll come through that. There's not so good news for EB1, but we'll come to that. EB2 all chargeability remains was current in the past month, but now it has got a priority date. So that means USCIS has enough applications from the rest of the world that were not able to submit their applications in the last couple of months. So now they have set the date for EB2 all chargeability. They had a note in the last Visa Bulletin that this is coming, so this is not actually a surprise, and we talked about it in our last Visa Bulletin video, that because they mentioned that they are going to put a date for the all chargeability for EB2, that is not necessarily a very good news for India and China, because now we cannot expect a whole lot of spillovers from rest of the world category into EB category, which used to be the case in the past few years, but this year it seems like the rest of the world, or all chargeability in other words, they have a lot of demand in that category. There are not going to be many visa numbers that are going to be spilled over from rest of the world into India and China, the backlog countries, for EB2. So that is kind of a bummer. So China date has not changed at all. It's 8th of June 2019. Again, all the rest of the world countries have now a priority date. Now let's look at India. India has retrogress for EB2. Now the possible scenario here, it might be that all these upgrades that have happened are finally catching up in the numbers. As we speak, every day since the last 6 or 8 months, a lot of people have been upgrading their applications from EB3 to EB2. Now month after month they keep getting these upgrade petitions, and now they are to the point where they had to retrogress the EB3 India final action dates by 6 months. So they went back from 1st of April 2012 to 8th of October 2011. So it is almost 6 months of retrogression in the final action date chart for EB2, which is not such a good news. But for EB3, let's see, everything else remains same. For China, it has progressed by about 2 months, but for India, it has progressed by about 2.5 months, from 1st of April 2012 to 15th of June 2012. So people who were stuck in April for their final action date chart and who were just beyond that date may see their green cards being approved. So there are some visa numbers that were released for EB3 EB3 India. That is some good news for EB3 India. Now it's really logical because a lot of people are upgrading their applications to EB2, so some of them no longer remain in EB3, so that creates the space for people who are in the, so that kind of helps move the dates forward. So in my opinion, EB3 will continue to see modest gains or modest forward movements in their date for India in the next couple of months. Other workers category also has all the dates here, so they are all backlogged. No date change for other workers, but for EB4 you can see throughout the world, for rest of the world including India, China, all of them have a priority date. All of them have a date now in the priority chart, which is 22nd June 2022. Now this trend also can be explained with the number of visa applications that they are getting couple of months. Those numbers are now catching up, and USCIS is suddenly recognizing that they don't have enough visa numbers to process all those applications. So now they want to close the floodgates so that they can hold on to those applications and not have any more applications coming in, and process the ones that they have already received and use up all the visa numbers. So that's all it means. So if the dates don't move forward, it means that they don't need any more applications based on the number of visas that they have. Certain religious worker category, same story here. All of them have retrogressed, and EB5 essentially has remained unchanged, so we won't go over there. Now let's look at the filing date chart, because this is still the chart that is to be used by EB category for the month of December, and we'll verify that, but that's my speculation. Let's see. First, EB1 still remains current, so if you have application in EB1, you are good to apply for 485 right away. You can also do that concurrently along with your I-140. EB2 dates, all of them have all chargeability now has a date of 1st of December, which means that it has retrogressed. EB3 for China, EB2 for China has not changed, but EB2 for India has not changed at all. So there is no progression of dates, so it is stalled basically. But for EB3 you can see a little bit of a progression for China and India. For China it's from 15th of July 2018 to 1st of September 2018, and for India EB3 the dates have moved forward in the filing date chart from 1st of July 2012 to 1st of August 2012, so by a month. So which is good news, because if people were stuck in 2012 date in the last year or so, now they are seeing a little bit of a relief. And again, the same explanation as people are upgrading their visas, upgrading their applications from EB3 to EB2, we are going to see some space or some forward movement in EB3 in the next couple of months. Again, the same story here. Other workers category and EB4 have also retrogressed throughout the board for all countries, and essentially EB5 has remained unchanged. Now switching over a little bit, what I want to see is are there any notes compared to last month, because in the last month they had indicated that EB2 rest of the world will get a priority date because that will retrogress. Now let's read out if they have any new notices here. So let's look at this one first. Employment based preference annual limits for fiscal year 2023. So they have reiterated some numbers that we already knew. So they are saying that preliminary consolidation numbers used by state and USCIS for all of 2022 shows there were approximately 57,000 unused family sponsored visa numbers. As a result, the estimated employment based annual limit will be 197,000 for FY23. This is no different than what we already knew. 57,000 was the number thrown around even in their Q&A section since last couple of months. So this is they just have reiterated this information again. This 197,000 visa numbers for EB category are significantly more than what it is normally, which is 140,000. So which is good news, which should alleviate a little bit of a backlog. But again, the number of applications have been tremendous, so no relief in sight there. This next one is also important. Visa availability in the employment first category for China and India. Now here's some bad news for EB1, India and China. Increased demand and number used in the EB employment first category combined with decreased visa number availability for FY23 compared to 22 will most likely necessitate the establishment of final action dates and application filing dates for China and India in the upcoming months to hold number use within the maximum allowed under FY23 annual limit. This situation will be continuously monitored. So essentially what they are saying is EB1 will face retrogression next month. So you will see final action date chart and the filing date chart having dates in the EB1 category. Now EB1 has been current for more than a year or two now, so people have now suddenly there has been a lot of demand, and I know why it is, because a lot of people who are stuck for several years in EB2 or EB3 are now looking at applying in EB1 as well. The reason is because they have been in their jobs for so long, and some of them have attended universities and gained more specialized knowledge and learnings that kind of qualified them for EB1. So there are more and more EB1 qualified candidates coming out of EB2 and EB3 going into EB1. So naturally I think this is what is impacting the retrogression. This is what is leading to retrogression in EB1 starting next month. So enjoy while it is current. If you have an application ready, go ahead and submit it, because next month you might not be able to submit it right away. Establishment of employment based second preference, final action and application filing date. So as readers were warned last month, so last month they had indicated that visa availability in the employment based section EB2 category, and exactly that's what we saw in this visa bulletin, that EB2 now has retrogressed for India. So not so good news for EB2 and EB1, because EB2 has already retrogressed for India this month by 6 months, and EB1 will start retrogressing next month. That's what they are telling us. But a little bit of a relief for EB3, because now with the upward movement of applications from EB3 to EB2 and to EB1, there is some space for movement in EB3 India. So we might continue to see forward movement in EB3 India in the next couple of months. And then they also go on to say that there will be establishment of a priority day, so retrogression in EB4 as well. So this is where I will stop. All in all, basically it looks like this year is not going to be a very good news for EB2 India. EB2, if at all it starts advancing, it will be very slow. EB3, we could see modest progression as per the trend we are seeing now. And that will continue to happen, and that's basically because of those upgrades. Here is the sponsor's note. So I know for sure that some of you are interested in stock trading, day trading, buying cryptocurrencies. I want to present you VBull. VBull is a trading platform. It allows you to buy stock, it allows you to buy options, do options trading, and also it allows you to buy cryptocurrency. It can be done on the computer or on the mobile app. Now if you use my link, which is on the screen and also in the description, you will get some free stocks, and those free stocks will be valued up to maximum of $30,600. So if you are just starting out, or if you are looking for a new platform, if you will use the link in the description, the sponsor link in the description, you will get some free stocks. Now people will have another question. Now I downgraded, upgraded, and now should I downgrade again? I would say hold on to your horses. Don't make hasty decisions right away. If your EB3 date is current and EB2 date is not current, just wait for another couple of months to see if EB2 has any forward movement, and then make a decision to downgrade again. It's so unfortunate that people have been downgrading and upgrading, and now there is a situation where you have to downgrade, maybe downgrade again, which is not a very good news. But anyways, if you have any questions regarding your particular situation, and if you need my opinion, please reach out to me on my Patreon site. And remember to subscribe to my channel and like this video, and also post a comment, because that will get you entered into my giveaway that is still going on. So good luck folks, and if you have any questions, let me know. If you like the content of this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.